Hi, Jon. I'm going to give you some feedback on your task 4. A lot of good things to say about that. Very good vocabulary, no grammatical errors, no sort of functional issues to mention in your text. Good organization of paragraphs. There's a good title, there's a good introduction, you've got good transitions within your text, especially when you talk about the paradigm of how a comprehensive approach becomes a new paradigm. That sort of leading into that is works really well, very kind of logically structured. I think, though, that you should introduce Reichenbauer a little bit more. It makes sense when you read the task that he is the guy we're talking about, but to the reader, we need a little bit more about him in order to understand why he is an authority and why he's worth bringing into this discussion in the first place. So just give him a little bit more of an introduction, like where does he work, what's his educational background, maybe mention the book that you're referring to in terms of what that is about. You have very interesting conclusions and very interesting suggestion in terms of a different almost branch of the army or branch of the military. I would like that to have a little bit more emphasis, support that a little bit more. This is where we hear your voice the most clearly. So give that more emphasis because that's very interesting, and also it gives you the right taxonomical level. I think it's an assessment, but it's also perspective in terms of what might be done now that you've concluded the way that you have. What might be the next logical step or a suggestion for a logical step. So the things that you can strengthen are basically sort of tweaking it so that your voice becomes stronger and more authoritative. So when you go through your text, when you edit, once you've done your draft, you edit, obviously, and then you proofread towards the end. I refer you to the video that I've put a link for in the Plan for English, in the Plan folder. There are 3 phases. There is the conceptualizing and drafting, then there's the editing, and then there's the proofreading. In editing, you can go back and look at how you can tweak the language. I would suggest that what you can do is try and use some assertive language that says quite clearly, this is, my assessment, this is what I think. And you can do that simply by using words that make you seem more authoritative. You can say things like, while we've seen Breitenbauer suggest so-and-so, and Martin Lidegaard said so-and-so, what seems to me to be obvious is blah, 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 blah. So that you sort of position yourself almost as an authority, because you already quoted and referred to people who have some authority and then some reason to have opinions on this subject. And now, because you've gone through all that, you're in a position to have your own opinion. So position yourself a little bit stronger and make your voice a little bit stronger. Not off the chart strong, right? It still has to sort of seem like a coherent whole. We don't want you to go off kind of like a demagogue towards the end, right? But you can tweak that a little bit in the editing. Because in terms of the overall conception, it's a really good text, and it does cohere. There's a good kind of thread running through the whole thing. So kind of just like cherry on top of the cake, I think. Okay, I think that's it for me. If there are any questions or any comments, you can email me, and I will see you on the very last day of the course on the Friday that we end. So if you have any comments, you can catch me there. Okay, see you.